Sivaya Naman, Tiruchitrambalam. Welcome back to our special program as Temple Tour. Today we are going to visit a beautiful temple called as Achirupakkam. Today, this particular temple that we are going to talk about, before getting into these details, I'm just going to ask you some questions for your self evaluation. Lately, are you facing any issues at work? Probably due to internal politics? Have you faced any kind of like backstabbing at work which jeopardizes your work? Have you been suffering from unfriendly colleagues? If your answer is yes, then this particular post is for you. Please go ahead and watch this video entirely. The temple today we are going to visit is called as Achirupakkam. In Tamil, we split this as Achu, Iru, Pakkam, which literally means as the place where the chariot axle broke into two. This is related to one of the 8 acts of valor by Lord Shiva. The 8 acts of valor are: Lord Shiva cut off Lord Brahma's 5th head to nail down his arrogance, which took place in Tirukandiyur. The second act of valor is Lord Shiva annihilated a demon called Andakasuran, which happened in Tirukovilur. The third one, Lord Shiva burnt down 3 flying fortresses made of gold, silver and iron by 3 demons, which happened in Tirupathigai. The fourth act of valor, Lord Shiva chopped the head of Dakshan in Tirupariyalur. Following that, Lord Shiva annihilated a demon, Jalandharan, in Tiruvirkudi. The next one, Lord Shiva de-skinned a demon in the form of an elephant known as Kayamukhasuran in Tiruvaluvur. The 7th act of valor, Lord Shiva burnt down Cupid in Tirukurukkai Veerattam. And finally, Lord Shiva kicked the Lord of Death, Yama, for the sake of protecting sage Markandeya, which is associated with this temple, Tirukadavur. This temple, known as Achirupakkam, is the place very closely related to Tirupathigai, where Lord Shiva burnt down the 3 flying fortresses. The Purana story goes this way. Once there were 3 demon kings who prayed to Lord Brahma and got their boon as they wanted to have their own flying fortress. If they had to be destroyed, it must be happening only with one weapon, and that too when the 3 fortresses are aligning in a straight line. This condition made it near to impossible to destroy the demons. Their atrocities grew leaps and bounds, and the living beings were suffering. So they all went to Lord Shiva and asked for help. So Lord Shiva asked them for a chariot. The Devas willingly volunteered to be part of the chariot, where the way how the chariot was formed was quite interesting. The 4 Vedas became the horses. Lord Brahma became the charioteer. The 2 wheels were sun and moon respectively. Mount Meru became the bow, Lord Vishnu became the arrow, snake Vasuki became the bowstring. These Devas had a small pride, thinking without their help, Lord Shiva wouldn't be able to demolish the fortress and kill the demons. When Lord Shiva realized that, of course he can realize everything, right? So he just realized it, but he never uttered a word. All he did was he just stepped his first foot on the chariot, and immediately the axle broke. Everyone were shocked. Then they realized their mistake. One more mistake they did was they never prayed to Lord Ganesha. Vigneshwaran means the person who removes all the disasters. And whenever we are moving on with the journey is going to be pleasant when we worship Lord Ganesha, because he is known as a person who's going to remove any obstacles in our deeds and actions. So, without praying to Lord Ganesha, when the chariot was about to start, the axle broke. Lord Shiva now asked Lord Ganesha for an explanation, for which Ganesha replied, it was Lord Shiva himself who ordered or came up with one of the rule that everyone has to pray to Lord Ganesha before starting any action. And finally, he himself tried to violate it. Even if someone is in superpower, they have to abide by the rules, even if it was set by their own selves. This made it very clear for all the devas. They repent for their mistake and they asked for Lord Ganesha's blessings. So Lord Ganesha said, okay, now you have to offer me something with 3 eyes. We all know the only person with 3 eyes is Lord Shiva. So everyone was shocked to hear this. Then Lord Ganesha gave the explanation himself. He said, why don't you offer a coconut? Coconut has got 3 eyes. The offering of coconut has become one of the norm after this particular incident. So in all our pujas, our tradition has become like we need to offer a coconut. Now, these are all part of Puranas. After that, they offered a coconut, they worshipped Ganesha, and then they started their journey, which basically is to destroy the fortress. What happened was, the 3 fortresses, when they are aligning in one straight line, only then a person with one weapon can destroy it, right? That was the boon. So when everything was set aright, they could realize the 3 fortresses were aligning on a straight line. Lord Shiva did not have time for anything to take up the weapon or whatever. All he did was he just smiled. His smile became a weapon, and that destroyed the 3 fortresses, in which 2 of them became the guards at the entrance of the temple, and 1 demon became the musician next to Lord Shiva. This is all Purana story. Now let's look at the Siddhanta behind this. The 3 fortresses are Arnavam, Kanmam and Maya. According to Tirumandiram, we are able to see this truth. Whatever causes the suffering for us in this plane is because of these 3 fortresses. Arnavam is a technical term which is literally translated as ignorance. Karma is our good and bad deeds from the past. Maya is everything around us, which pulls us back to this life again and again, and that is how we get into this vicious cycle of birth and death. Only by getting rid of these 3 things we can achieve realization. In order to get rid of these, we have to sincerely pray, and when Lord Shiva is pleased with our sincerity, he will smile at us, and that will burn the 3 hardcore fortresses within us. We are able to see this in Tirumandiram, as I said earlier, verse number 343. Now we have seen this particular event as a Purana as well as a Siddhanta. Now let's look at a little bit of history behind this. Once there was a Pandya king who wanted to bring holy waters from the river Ganges. On his way back, when he was heading towards river Ganges, when they were crossing Achirupakkam, the chariot's axle broke into 2. When his subordinates were fixing this axle, the king witnessed a beautiful golden color monitor lizard hiding behind a tree. The king was fascinated by this giant lizard and ordered to catch it. They all tried by all means, but they couldn't find where the lizard was anywhere. So they started clearing off the place, and when they were about to chop off the tree, suddenly they started blood oozing off. This is where Lord Shiva was there in the form of Shivlinga. So the king ordered a sage, Tirunetradhari, to construct a temple here. The sage constructed a temple with 2 Shivlingas. As that, we are able to see Lord Shiva in 2 forms or 2 Shivlingas in this particular temple, and this was done as per Lord Shiva's order. While the king was coming back after his worship, and bringing the water from Ganges. When he witnessed the temple with two Shivlingas, he was surprised. The sage gave an explanation to the Lord who ruled here is Umay Achishwarar, and the Lord who rules him, as in the sage himself, is Achishwarar. Hence, this temple is very popular among politicians as well, because whenever someone wants to establish their rule, it can be political rule, it can be in your office, or as in your subordinates have to obey you, or even at home where you want to make sure that you establish your authority, you may want to visit this temple and pray your respects. Now let's look at the temple. This temple is in the suburbs of Madurantagam, Kanjipuram district. This temple has the place of 262nd out of the 274 temples which has the holy hymns of Lord Shiva were sung. Further, dividing this into Tondai Natu temples, out of 32 temples, this temple is taking the place of 29. From the first Tirumurai, 77th Pathigam is sung for this temple by the child prodigy guru named as Thiruñana Sambandar. As per the historical sequence, this Pathigam takes the 343rd place. It's a beautiful and massive temple constructed in 1.25 acres of land. Again, when we talk about this beautiful temple, the famous deity here is Achumurita Vinayagar, literally translated as Ganesha who broke the axle. First, we have to visit him before entering the temple. This is considered auspicious. As we mentioned earlier, there are two Shivlingas in this temple. The deity with the Jwadasthambam or Kodimaram or the flagstaff is known as Umayachishwarar. His consort is known as Ilankili Ammai. Behind the Shivlinga, there's a beautiful sculpture of Shiva and Parvati's wedding, which was bestowed for sage Agasthyar. This temple is also worshipped by Rishi Kannuvar and Rishi Gautamar. We can also see the beautiful sculptures of 63 Nayanmars. One separate sanctum is being built for Chitragupta, but it's not complete yet. The sculptures of Karaikal Ammayar walking with hands to reach Kailash, Kannappa Nayanar where he takes his eyes to offer for Shiva, and Sandesar when he chops off his father's legs are all beautifully depicted. One sculpture of Somaskandar is also there, which has a snake worshipping a Shivlinga along with this. In this temple, Lord Vishnu, along with his consort Alarmel Mangai, is also there to bestow wishes for the devotees. This temple is built on Kamiga Agamam, and the pujas are all being performed based on this Agama itself until today. The place where we are standing to worship Lord Shiva is a well. It's actually covered with stones. We can hear the sound of water when surrounding is quiet. Also during the month of Kartigai, which is somewhere around mid of November to mid of December, which is the rainy season, they say the well will be full of water and hence the Shivlinga will be in waters as well. Now, we have seen about the temple. Next, we are going to focus on the way to get rid of the office politics which we discussed earlier. Besides the holy tree, we will see sage Tirunetradhari in a worshipping form. Also, another miracle in this temple is the flower from the holy tree starts to bloom only when the main festival happens, which is somewhere in the month of Chittirai, around April. Until that very moment, the flowers don't bloom. If anyone has become a scapegoat of office politics, all you have to do is recite this Pathigam for 48 days and visit this temple. All the problems will be sorted out slowly. This is a miracle which is happening even today. We are trying only to give you the taste, or rather show you the taste of this particular temple. If you really want to enjoy the taste, all you have to do is you have to taste it yourself. So please do visit this temple, Achirupakkam. There's a lot of beautiful sculptures over here. You will enjoy it. It's a natural beauty that you will witness. You will never be disappointed by visiting this temple. Either you are a nature lover, or you are a spiritual person, or you have a problem and you're looking for a solution. Either ways, this particular temple will be a boon. Please do visit this temple, get the blessings of Lord Shiva, and that by that I'm concluding this particular post, which is called as the temple visit Achirupakkam. I'll come back again with the next temple very soon. Until then, Sivaya Nama, Tiruchitrambalam.